Hello everyone, I'm Yashwadi and hereby I present my task 3 as data science intern at the Sparks Foundation. The task 3 I was given IPL dataset with matches and deliveries data, and I had to do exploratory data analysis of the dataset and few questions were posed. We'll look at that summary at the end of the video. So firstly we'll be importing necessary libraries, and then we load the data sets, that is matches and delivery. And in the shape we can see that there are 18 variables in matches dataset with 756 data points and 21 variables in deliveries dataset with almost 179,000 data points. Firstly we'll be exploring matches dataset. So in the matches dataset we are given every information about the matches played. We are given with player of the match, venue, umpires, by what margin the team won. We are given the season of the match, city, the date, both the teams, who won the toss, what decision they took, etc. Yeah. So firstly we'll be checking the null values, and we are having few missing values in city, in winner, in player of the match, and few in umpires. Umpire column will not be useful in this analysis, so we'll be dropping all of them as they don't decide the outcome of the game. So we'll be dropping all of them. And now we'll see the unique values of city and winner columns. You can see there are few null values in both of them, and there are many cities in which the games were played and many teams which played the match, the tournament. We'll be checking the results column corresponding to the winner, in which there were missing values. So first we replaced the null values with not known, and now we'll be seeing the corresponding result value. So for all the 4 missing values we are having no result, and we can conclude that the match might be washed out or not played due to some reason. So we'll keep it as not known, as there is no clear winner of the match. Now same for the city, we'll check the corresponding venue. So here we can see that we don't have any null values for the venue column. So if we know the venue, we can easily tell the city, right? So we'll see it here. Yeah, so all the 7 rows which are missing the city value, all are of Dubai International Cricket Stadium. And as we see the date, there are all of 2014 edition, and as you know there were general elections in India, so a few of the matches were played in UAE, and these correspond to the same matches. So we'll replace not known with Dubai in cities column. Now we'll be checking for player of the match. We see the corresponding results column, and we see that these are the same matches in which we didn't have the winner value. So we'll be dropping these 4 rows from the data set, as a player of the match and winner play a very important role in this analysis. So we'll be dropping as there are very few, only 4. So now we have 752 data points. Now we'll be looking at the seasonal winners of the tournament. So what we can do is we can drop all the duplicates in the season dataset and keep the last value, because we know that they are sorted with date parameters. So the last one will be the finals, and the winner of that match will be the winner of the tournament of that edition. So we first drop the duplicates from season and keep the last value, and then sort according to seasons. So we get all the seasonal winners here, and we can then check the value counts. So here we can see that Mumbai Indians won 3 times, which is the highest, then Chennai Super Kings, and then KKR, and then there is Deccan Chargers, Rajasthan Royals, and SRH. So we'll be plotting that, and here we can see that Mumbai Indians is the most successful franchise according to the data sets. Now we'll be seeing the number of matches won by the teams. So we'll be seeing the flares. Will use a palette of a flare, and will use count plot from Seaborn's library, and we can see the number of matches won here. So Mumbai Indians, as usual, will be at the top as they have won the most number of tournaments. So basically, Mumbai Indians, CSK, and KKR top this list as well. So now we'll be looking at the win type analysis. So the bowling first team have won 406 number of times, which is quite a high percentage. So how we'll be calculating this is we have applied a condition here. So if the win by wickets is greater than 0, then the side have bowled first, else it would have batted first. So we get this data from this condition over here, and now we'll be plotting the pie chart for the same, and we get 54% of the results were for the side bowling first. So 54% chances that you win the match if you bowl first. Now similarly we'll be seeing at number of wins by batting and bowling first for the season, for every season. So here we can see that bowling first have dominated in all the seasons. Yeah, it is clear from the graph. Now we'll look at the toss decision. So what decision does captain take if they win the toss? So mostly we see that from the values count that most teams choose to field first if they win the toss. That is 460 out of 752. So which is quite a high percent. As you can see in the pie chart, it is 61.2% for the field first. We'll be looking this for the season's data set, and we see that in the recent past bowling first has been the trend. You win the toss and you bowl first is the trend in the last few seasons. Now what impact the toss is having on the game? So we'll be checking if the team won, if they win the toss or they lose. So if the toss winner is equal to the winner, then we say that they won the match after winning the toss. So it is a bit higher than the ones who lost the toss. So 52.3% chances that if you win the toss, then you will win the match. So now we'll look at the most valuable player of the tournament. So what we'll be doing here is we'll look at the top 10 members of player of the match column. So we'll look at the values count and then we'll sort it at top 10. So here we plot the graph for the same, and we can see that Chris Gayle has won 21 times man of the match award, and followed by AB de Villiers, Rohit Sharma, MS Dhoni, David Warner. Yeah, so these are the most valuable players in the tournament. Now we'll be looking at the boundaries analysis. So we use the deliveries data set here. In the deliveries data set we are given the ball by ball analysis, and we have every dismissal kind, then we have the runs scored in that each and every ball, and was that of a super over or not, the batsman, the bowler, who was on the non-strike, each and everything is given in this data set. So we'll be merging deliveries with a matches dataset with 3 columns, that is ID, season and winner. As we are not having the season here, and we don't have the winner as well. So we'll merge that with the matches dataset using a match ID and ID. The match ID is same as the ID in the matches dataset, so we'll merge using that. So now we have the season and we also have the winner in deliveries dataset. Here we can see that we are having Rising Pune Super Giants and Rising Pune Super Giant both. We saw that in the unique values for the teams earlier. Yeah, we saw it here. Here we are having Rising Pune Super Giant and Rising Pune Super Giants. So this is a typo in the dataset. So we'll have to correct that. So I replace Rising Pune Super Giant with Rising Pune Super Giants for the dataset, the one which we merged. So now we'll be defining few parameters here. We'll be looking at the boundaries. So we look at the batsman run column here. Batsman runs, and we'll be looking at the fours and the sixes, right? So we'll be looking at them and then we sort them to get the then we also take the count. So for all the teams we are having number of fours and number of sixes. So I have used a group by and aggregate method here to get fours and sixes. And then we take the total to get the total of fours and sixes, and then I plot it here, and we get that Mumbai Indians top the list here as well, as they have played most number of seasons. CSK didn't play for 2 seasons in between, so they are a bit behind in this list as well. Now we'll be sorting the batsmen which hit the most number of fours. So for that I have defined a batsman 4 here, batsman 4. So I have then grouped here by batsman instead of batting team. So earlier we did by batting team, now we'll be doing by batsman, and then take the count by aggregate method, and then we sort the list, and we get that Shikhar Dhawan, Suresh Raina, Gautam Gambhir, Kohli, they top the list. I have chosen top 10 here in most fours. So these are the batsmen which hit most number of fours, and similarly we can do that for sixes as well. And no doubt Chris Gale tops the list here. He is the universe boss, obviously he'll top the list in most sixes. Then comes AB de Villiers and MS Dhoni, and these are the top 10 in hitting most number of sixes. Same thing we will be doing with the total runs. So for the runs I have similarly defined, grouped by batsman, and then aggregated the total number of runs. Batsman runs, I have taken sum of all the values and then sorted it and plotted the top 10 here. So I plot the top 10 here, and Suresh Raina and Virat Kohli tops the list. The data is still 2019, so we have Suresh Raina leading in this data set. So Suresh Raina and Virat Kohli are the leading run scorers in the tournament. Now we'll be doing for the bowlers as well. So and in this data set we have many missing values in player dismissed and dismissal kind and fielder, cause not every ball there is a dismissal, so those values are given as null in this data set, so we can ignore that here. And now we can see the unique values of dismissal kind. So for the wickets we don't consider obstructing the field, we also don't consider runouts, and we don't consider retired hurt, so we'll have to remove those values to calculate the total number of wickets. So here I have removed them here, run out, retired hurt, and obstructing the field from the wickets dataset. And then in similar way, I grouped by bowlers and then took the count and then reset the index to get this. Now I'll be sorting this and take the top 10 values. So I've sorted it and taken the top 10 values. Now I plot it and we get these. Malinga tops the list of most wickets. Then we have Amit Mishra, Harbhajan Singh, and yeah, DJ Bravo and Piyush Chawla. So Lasit Malinga tops the list of leading wicket takers. So in the summary, we can say that MI, CSK and KKR are the three most successful teams in the tournament, considering number of titles and number of games won by them. We also come to know that win the toss and bowl first has been the trend, and that is 61.2% in the tournament. A team chasing the score has won 54% of times, and if the team wins the toss, then uh, they'll win by 52.3% chance. Chris Gale and ABD are most valuable players of the tournament. They have won 21 and 20 times respectively the Player of the Match award. Shikhar Dhawan has struck much number of fours and Chris Gale for sixes. Suresh Raina and Virat Kohli are the leading run scorers. So, for the last question, we can say that companies should endorse MI, CSK or KKR for their products, and for the players they can choose any of the top 10 MVPs. They can choose the top scorers, Suresh Raina or Virat Kohli, or they can even choose Lasith Malinga and top 5 leading wicket takers. Yeah, so this is the exploratory data analysis of IPL dataset which I was given. Thank you very much for listening and stay tuned for the next task.